know the science behind it?
Please.
Okay, so for instance, when you look at what the sun is, the sun, let's just look at it like it's simple electricity class.
Okay.
The sun is the source of electricity, and your cells need to be charged up. That's why you have something called a cell phone, and then you have 150 cells that make up your body. So you have a cell phone, and then you have cells in your body. And then when you look at a battery, have you ever seen the name of a battery? It's called an alkaline battery. That's made of what? Cells. If a cell dies in the battery won't start the car.
Absolutely.
If cells die in your body and your body won't regenerate those cells, you die. If your cell phone die, what you got to do? You have to plug it into the source for it can be recharged again, for it can do its daily functioning.
Wow.
The sun is so amazing because if it wasn't for the sun, we wouldn't be here. The sun have literally manifested all things into physical form. The sun is the first thing that created all matter, and it does it through something called terahertz. And these terahertz is basically wavelengths. And when the wavelengths are very, very far apart, that's where you get the infrared from. Then once it get tighter and tighter and it speeds up and the terahertz get higher, that's where you start looking at the rainbow, and it goes through these different color spectrums, right? Wow. Well, check this out. I want to show you how this works. So your body is made of melanin, or what they call melanin, right? And melanin is a superconductor type of material. Not only that, it's a polymer, meaning it buffers out acids, it causes the body to detoxify, and it also holds on to magnetic energy and electrical energy at that. So you have melanin in your body, then you have something called chromophores. And what chromophores is, if you look inside of a cell, because the body is made of 150 trillion cells, inside of the cells you have something called a 6-carbon base ring, or what they call benzene rings. These are chromophores. Then you have amino acids. So the body is made of minerals, the body is made of melanin, the body is made of carbon, the body is made of amino acids, all in water. A bunch of water, and every function in your body require water. So all of these different things, when you look them up, it's something called chromophores. And if you look at what a chromophore is, it's literally an element that holds sunlight. So you have to ask yourself, if the body is made of 150 trillion cells, and out of 150 trillion cells, all 150 trillion cells have chromophores, carbons in them to hold sunlight, then what is the purpose of your body then? It's to hold the sunlight and the information. So then when you start looking at what it's for, every biological process in your body requires sunlight. Every last one of them. Every last one of them. Your blood will not flow without these chromophores getting sunlight. So sunlight hits the blood. When sunlight hits the blood, the electrical magnetic frequency folds proteins. When the protein is folded, it gets a signal, and it tells the protein what to do. Whether it's going to go through something called protein synthesis, whether it's going to go through protein mitosis and break down, and then go through apoptosis, and then leave out through your urine or through your poop by defecation. Your awakening and sleep patterns, the way you wake up and go to sleep. When you wake up, the reason why you wake up is because the sunlight, this infrared light, hit the retinas of your eyes, and it actually go through something called melanopsis. The melaninopsis or the melanopsis wake you up because you just had that blue radioactive sunlight in you. Now, as soon as you get up, guess what the sunlight do? You start producing and releasing serotonin. Serotonin is what makes you serious. It brings on your focus. It makes your stomach growl. It makes you hungry. You even your sex is built off of serotonin. How much serotonin and testosterone you have, that's what makes you want to reproduce and repopulate. This is serotonin. Serotonin is made during the night and released during the morning or during the rising. Melatonin is actually made during the day and secreted in your bloodstream during the night. But all of this is based off of the sun. So you can't get any type of hunger pains without the sun. You can't break down your food and digest your food without the sun. You can't make your blood flow or fold proteins without the sun. Not only that, the sun actually so you have something called the mitochondrial organelle in your cells. So me and you sitting up here talking and breathing right now because we're going through a process called cellular respiration. Have you ever heard of that?
No, sir.
So when you look at cellular respiration, it's just a 5-step series where glucose is actually turned into carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is actually turned into water, and water in your cells is used as fuel to give you vitality, power, and just the will to live. Whoa. So this is what the mitochondria does. Well, in order for the mitochondria to do that, guess what you need? Sunlight. It's a fourth phase. It's the fourth phase of this 5-step respiratory process that you need to create oxygen and water to give you that power. Guess what it needs to actually fold those proteins and does that? It needs sunlight. And if you look at the process of that, when you break open this actual mitochondria, it has something called these zinc rings, zinc and copper, and these little metal shavings, trace minerals that you get from your food. But guess what? You can't even activate those trace minerals without sunlight. So sunlight is essential for life.
Period.
Wow. The sun feeds. So the sunlight have this radioactive waves. It permeates on trees and plants. The trees and plants then go through a process called photosynthesis. Right. The photosynthesis is basically when chloroplasts and chlorophyll eats the sun. Once it eats the sun, it converts this sunlight over into energy. It's free energy at that. That's the beautiful thing about the sun. We don't have to pay a light bill on the sun. It's free energy. Right. God just put it there and turned the lights on perpetually. You see what I'm saying? So look, it beats and it permeates on these little chloroplasts pigmentation plant cells, right? And it's called chlorophyll. It takes that free energy, and then from those free energy, a chemical process happens, and gas is formed from there. Guess what gas is formed from there? Oxygen. Oxygen is a gas. So what's crazy? So without the sun, we won't even have oxygen, because what gives oxygen to us is the sun taking not only bacteria, or what you'll call planktons from the ocean, and algae and sea moss and club moss and kelp, which is nothing but the sea vegetables of the sea, right? It does the same thing through the vegetables here on earth. It goes through photosynthesis, and from photosynthesis, chemical processes come, and we get oxygen, and from that oxygen, we get vitality. We can go months and months and months and months, damn near a year without eating nothing. I did 120 days on nothing but fruit juice, so I know that's possible. You can go a month without drinking anything, but if you are the strongest athlete in the world, you only can get up to 9 to 13 minutes without oxygen. That's how important oxygen is. It's essential for life. And guess what? We would not have oxygen if it wasn't for the sun.
I got a question for you, because there's a lot of people here. There's a lot of people who are listening to you right now and are amazed, right? Because you are like a walking Google on health. You're walking, like back in the day would be encyclopedia, when we was coming up. What about a person right now? It's like, oh man, I'm at the beginning of my journey. And I want to just start, like, because it's hard to just go hardcore to. Okay.
Transitional stage.
I always have fruit in my house. Always. If my fruit run out, I'll go back and get fruit. You got to have something to put in your mouth, right? What would be like the essential fruits, just a nice base to have in the house that people that's healthy for?
Okay, it depends on where you stay at, because fruit is seasonal. Even if you stay in like a tropical place, like LA is technically a tropical place. So if you go to Miami or Florida, that's technically a tropical place. So fruits is seasonal. So I would say you would have to Google seasonal fruits, and the ones that are dark in pigmentation, whether it's anthocyanins, whether it's lycopene, whether it's what you would call beta carotene. These are all, beta carotene is what makes oranges orange. That's what makes carrots the colors orange. When you look at anthocyanins, that gives you that very dark purple pigmentation. When you look at lycopene, that gives you that red pigmentation. So look for foods that have melanin in it, foods that is very rich in melanin, because we are a very rich in melanin people. Absolutely. And we need to replace those things. You have to eat things that's going to replace your cells or rebuild the cells. Apples is amazing, and the good thing about apples is apples literally have all the amino acids that you need in them. Like it's a book that I have, and the
bioflavonoids.
Yes, and the bioflavonoids of apples is crazy. The tannins, yes, it's amazing, man.
I learned that.
So it's a book I got, and it's talk about how a man lived off apples alone. He was a Chinese man. He lived off apples alone for like 20 years, and he was one of the strongest people in China. So, and these are actually these are studies that's been done, clinical studies on paperwork that you can read that they did this on this man. So apples is amazing. If you want to astringe, or if you want to cleanse the cells, green apples. That's got a pungent, bitter, astringent taste to it, meaning it pulls acids out of the cells. You want something more sweet, get you a red apple. If you want the bitter, sweet, both of them, get you one that's mixed with both of the colors.
Right.
Oranges with seeds are very, very good too, especially navel oranges. I noticed I couldn't find a lot of them out here now. But if you go overseas, or you can get online and you can just Google exotic fruits, they will deliver them right to your door. So oranges are very good. That's a very astringent. So this is what I would say: if you want to rebuild the molecular structure, melons, watermelon, honeydew melon, cantaloupe melon, squash, cucumber is a melon. All melons come from cucumber. It's called the cucurbitale family. So your ancient watermelon was actually the first cucumber. Then once they started hybriding cucumbers, that's where you get the watermelons we see now. You see what I'm saying? So the melon family to rebuild the structure of the body.
All the things you just said, I got in my house. That's so crazy.
See that?
So I have the watermelon.
Powerful.
Very good for you, especially if you drink and stuff and you dehydrate.
It will bring you back.
It will bounce you back so fast. You just eat a bunch of watermelon, you feel like you just got dipped in Jesus.
Yes,
Jesus
love, Jesus sauce.
Jesus sauce. So the honeydew, yes, definitely. Cantaloupe,
amazing.
I have also apples, peaches.
Yes,
figs,
peaches is amazing.
Figs
is amazing, and the whole entire process to create a fig is mind blowing. When you look at the wasp and how the wasp is the pollinator to even create the fig.
I have 2 fig trees on my property, man. I can't get to them fast enough. The squirrels and everybody.
So that's my problem. I got a 6-acre farm in St. Louis, Missouri, man, and we use 3 of that to grow foods, man. I got apple trees, peach trees, pear trees.
I got grapefruits too.
Yeah, man, grapefruits is amazing. We got grapes growing on the property, man. So I set up all these cameras on the property because every time I come out, my food be gone.
But I don't know what to do with the squirrels.
So look, it ain't the squirrels with me, it's the deers, man.
The deer.
Man, the deer love fruit. I'm like, man, deers are frugivores, man.
Yo, they
ate all my apples, they ate all my peaches, they ate my grapes, man, and they on camera looking at the camera like, yeah, it was me.
We out here.